Oh, hello Yuki! So, in this video, we are going to learn about simple present tense, the structure and the functions. Are you ready? Let's go! First, let's start with the structure. However, before that, let me introduce you to the object and complement. An object has a relation with the subject, in which the subject does something that affects the object. In here, an object is a noun. For example, Soma writes a new recipe every week. In here, Soma is the subject, and he does something, which is writes. And what he does here affects something, which is a new recipe. So because a new recipe here receives an effect because of what Soma does, so a new recipe is the object of this sentence. What about a complement? A complement gives more information about the subject. It can be in the form of noun, adjective, or adverb. For example, I am a teacher. Anya is at school. Saitama and Kakashi are strong. As you can see here, a teacher, at school, and strong, they give more information about the subject. That's why they are the complement. Now that you know the difference between object and complement, let's proceed. So there are two kinds of simple present tense. The first one is using predicate to be. The structure is, for the positive one, we have subject plus to be plus complement. For the negative one, we have subject plus to be plus not plus complement. And for the question, we have to be plus subject plus complement. So for example, for the positive one, I am happy. For the negative one, I am not happy. And for the question, am I happy? Also, for the positive one, we have Anya is at school. Negative one, Anya is not at school. And for the question, is Anya at school? For the positive one, Saitama and Kakashi are strong. Negative one, Saitama and Kakashi are not strong. And for the question, are Saitama and Kakashi strong? Now let's proceed to the second one, using verbs. In here, for the positive one, we have subject plus verb 1. However, for the verb 1, keep in mind that if the subject is either he, she, or it, you have to end the verb here with either s or es. And then we can proceed with object or complement. For the negative one, we have subject plus do or does. In here, if the subject is either I, you, we, or they, we can use do. And if the subject is either he, she, or it, we have to use does. And then proceed with not, verb 1, and object or complement. And for the question, we have do or does plus subject plus verb 1, and then we end that with either object or complement. So let's see the example. The first one, I read a book. The negative one is, I don't read a book. And for the question, do I read a book? For the positive one, Agami plays basketball. For the negative one, Agami doesn't play basketball. And for the question, we have, does Kagami play basketball? For the positive one, we have Gara and Deidara built a sandcastle. For the negative one, Gara and Deidara don't build a sandcastle. And for the question, do Gara and Deidara build a sandcastle? So, now, can you give me more examples? Comment down below. For now, let's talk about the functions. We can use simple present to express habitual actions. For example, Shizuka does her homework every day. This is a habit. We also can use the simple present to tell about general truth or fact. For example, the sun rises in the east. This is a general truth. You can also state the scientific fact in here. We can use the simple present to talk about a command or instruction. For example, open the door. Finally, we can use simple present to talk about scheduled event. For example, the train arrives at 10. Now, can you give me more examples? Comment down below. Okay, now we know that we can use simple present to express habitual actions. For example, Shizuka does her homework every day. In here, the word every day is one of the adverb of frequency. So we can use the adverb of frequency to tell how often someone does something. Here, I will give you some more examples of adverbs of frequency. We can use always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never, once, for example, once a week or once a day, twice, 4 times, and so on and so forth. Just be creative and give me more examples, okay? Comment down below. Okay, that's it. So what do you think? Is he right? Well, before we end this one, let me give you the quote of the day. If you create an act, you create a habit. If you create a habit, you create a character. If you create a character, you create a destiny. That's a very beautiful quote by Andrew Morwa. Okay, so that's all for today. See you next time on the next video. Matanekonya!